Hi students, welcome to all 4 C-Learning chemistry classes. We are in session 8 of the concept laws of chemical combination. In the previous session, we have discussed different laws of chemical combination, and today we are going to solve some numericals based on the application of this particular concept. So, write down along with me and get ready with pen and notebook. Students, write down the molecular formula of a compound is X4O9. If the compound contains, write down students, if the compound contains 40% X by mass, what is the atomic weight of element X? What is the atomic weight of X? This is the formula of the compound given to you, X4O9. In that compound, he is saying that 40 grams of X by mass. It means I can write like this: 100 grams of X4O9 contains 40 grams of X. What about the remaining 60? Nothing but the mass corresponding to oxygen, because it contains only 2 elements, X and oxygen. So, now I am going to write like this, see students, 100 minus 40, 60. So, okay, let me write like this: 40 grams X is present along with 60 grams of oxygen. You can get the conclusion like this. Yesterday we have discussed about law of definite proportions or constant proportions. According to that law, for any chemical compound, the mass ratio of respect to compounds is always respect to elements is always constant. So now I am taking the mass ratio of mass of X divided by mass of oxygen, 40 by 60, that is 2 by 3. So this ratio is constant. Now from the formula we can write like this: we don't know the atomic weight of X. Please consider that as X only itself, no problem. Okay, otherwise you take it as small x. 4x plus 9 into atomic weight of oxygen 16. 9 16s are 144. That is the total molar mass of that compound. So for this we can write 4x grams of X present along with 144 grams of oxygen. That ratio also should be same as 2:3. So I am writing 4x by 144 is equal to 2 by 3. 3 gets cancelled here. 8 2 gets 4 3s are 12, 3 8s are 24. Okay, and this 2. So x is equal to 24. That is the atomic mass of x. See, just I have applied the concept of law of constant proportions. The elements present in any chemical compound always possess the same mass ratio or mass percent for that particular compound. It means for a compound, we are not supposed to disturb the mass percentage of respective elements. Please note it down, students. Before going to next numerical, let me discuss about the percentage by mass of element present in a compound. Say for example, I will take an easy example, CH4, methane. The molar mass is 16, we know 16 grams is the molar mass. How you get that molar mass? 12 for carbon atomic weight and 4 into 1 atomic weight of hydrogen, 16. So if anybody asks you to calculate the mass percentage of carbon in methane, you can also represent percent W by W like this. Mass percent of carbon is equal to 12 grams of carbon in 16 into 100. 3 fours, 4 fours, 25, that is 75%. So again similarly, mass percent of hydrogen, total 4 grams of hydrogen is there out of 16, so that is 25%. And mass ratio 75 is to 25, 3 is to 1, nothing but law of definite proportions. Write down the next numerical. If, write down along with me, students, if the percentage of water of crystallization in MgSO4 magnesium sulfate dot XH2O is 13, what is the value of X? This is the question given to you, students. Now let me go for the solution of this question. He has given the percentage water of crystallization in this hydrated magnesium sulfate. The magnesium sulfate compound and combination with water, that is called water of crystallization. You have to find out the value of X. Let me calculate. First of all, the molar mass of this hydrated salt, that is MgSO4 dot XH2O. We know magnesium 24, sulfur atomic mass 32, oxygen 16. Okay, for entire water, you can take it as 18 grams. Okay, let me calculate. 24 plus 32 plus 64, that is 120 plus. Each water H2O is 18x type of there, so you can write it as 18x. This is the molar mass of MgSO4 dot XH2O. It contains it contains how much mass of water? 18 into x grams of water. This we can write based on the formula of the compound given to us. Suppose you feel like this, if this value is not given 13%, let me calculate. How to calculate that? For this much weight of the compound, 18x grams of water. How to calculate percent means? So you have to take 100 grams of compound, then you will get that percentage. That percentage. Here I am writing. How you calculate? 100 divided by 120 plus 18x into 18x. That value is nothing but he has given exactly as 13. If it is not given, this is the way to calculate percentage. That percentage he has given in the question as 13. So you have to equate it to 13, and on multiplication 1800x 13 12s 156 1560 13 18s 234x. So if you take out 1566x is equal to 1560. Here I am writing, students, x is equal to 1560 by 1566. It is 0.9. So you can take it as, there is no 0.9 molecule, either it should be 1 or more than 1. So it is better to take it as 1, because 0.9 moles means almost you can take it as 1 molecule. So for MgSO4 this much sample, the x value is 1. Write down one more question, students. Write down. If 1.181 grams of an unknown element X reacts with oxygen to form, write down, students, to form 1.664 grams of X2O3. What is the atomic weight of X? What is the atomic weight of X? I am repeating the question once again. If 1.181 grams of an unknown element X reacts with oxygen to form 1.664 grams of X2O3, what is the atomic mass of X? That is GAW, you should find out. Okay. This is total mass of X2O3. Out of this, 1.181 grams is X. So I am writing here. See, students, 1.664 grams of X2O3, note it down, contains 1.181 grams of element X. So if you subtract this, you can write, you will get 0.463, this remaining, the difference of these two. That is nothing but oxygen. Now I can write like this, see, 1.181 grams of X combines with 0.463 grams of oxygen. That is the data. Now again the same approach what we have solved in the first numerical, because this is also a compound, the mass percentage or mass ratio of X and oxygen in X2O3 is always constant according to law of definite proportions. So I am writing here mass of oxygen divided X divided by mass of oxygen is equal to 1.181 divided by 0.463. 0.463. 463 or 483, just check it out, students. Wait, 1.664, 1.181, 3, 16, 8, I think it is 483, students. You please correct this, 483. So here also I am going to write it as 0.483. Okay. So now this is the mass ratio of X and oxygen in this compound. So coming to the estimation of molar mass, what we are going to take, if atomic weight of X, if it is considered that as small x, that you can write it as 2x plus 3/16, 48. 2x plus 48. Right. So, or you can also write moles ratio. Here I have written mass ratio. You can also write moles ratio. What is the moles ratio? Moles of X divided by, another approach also I am saying, moles of oxygen is equal to 2 by 3. So this is mass ratio, this is moles ratio. According to this approach also you can go. Both the approaches I will explain to you, students. Okay. Let me explain first moles ratio equal to moles ratio. Right. How you get moles ratio? This is mass ratio. Okay. Mass of X divided by atomic weight of X. Take it as small x. Mass of oxygen divided by atomic mass of oxygen 16. So you have to write it as 1.181 divided by X, 0.483 divided by 16. You can equate to 2 by 3. So in this way also you can calculate the atomic mass of X, capital letter X, that is I have taken it as small x. Or I have already told you one more approach, the same law of constant proportions. So here mass ratio I got it as 1.181 divided by 0.483. Concentrate, students. Right. Now mass ratio here 2x divided by 48. In both the ways you will get the same answer for X, no doubt. X is roughly, you will get it as 58.8. Yes, it is 58.7 roughly, 58.7. Please check it out, the calculation, students. Okay. Here I have explained in two different ways. Moles ratio I have equated, or directly you can take it as mass ratio. In any way, whatever you are going to follow, you will get the same answer, no doubt. So X value finally you will get it as roughly 58.7, around that. Okay. Okay, students, let me go for the next model. Write down along with me. Please note it down. 2 oxides of a metal, capital letter M, has 31.6% and 48% of oxygen by mass, respectively. Of oxygen by mass respectively. If the formula of first oxide is M2O3, if the formula of first oxide is M2O3, what is The formula of second oxide, that is the question. Two oxides of a metal M has 31.6% and 48% of oxygen by mass respectively. If the formula of first oxide is M2O3, then what is the formula of second oxide? Okay, students, let me explain how to solve this. Okay, I am writing here first oxide, that is M2O3, write down students. Second oxide, just data I am writing. Mass of M and mass of oxygen I am writing for both first oxide and second oxide. In both the oxides, he has mentioned the percentages of oxygen. For first oxide it is 31.6, for second oxide it is 48. So only two elements are there. So the remaining is nothing but the percentage of M. And out of this, that is 68.4. So these are the mass percentages of elements M and oxygen in both the oxides. Okay. He has given the first oxide formula as M2O3. M2O3. Okay. I am going to write here. This 68.4 grams of M in this oxide corresponding to how many atoms of M? 2 M atoms. I am writing 68.4 grams of M. 68.4 grams corresponding to 2 M atoms. But in the second oxide, the percentage of M only 52 grams. Okay, 52 grams mass. Then what will be the number of atoms? 52 by, I don't know students, 52 by 68.4 into 2, that is 104 divided by 68.4, that is 1 times 68.4, maybe 31.63 ones. Okay, almost it is approximately 1.5 you will get, students. You keep it. So this mass of M correspond to how many atoms? 1.5 atoms of M. Leave it. Now let me apply the same way of calculation to oxygen also. What is the mass of oxygen out of 100 grams of first oxide? 31.6 grams he has given. I am going to write 31.6 grams corresponding to, what is the molecular formula of first oxide? M2O3. So how many atoms of oxygen contains? 3. So that mass is corresponding to 3 oxygen atoms. Okay, students. Then what is the mass of oxygen in the second oxide for 100 grams? 48 grams. Then what will be the number of atoms? Let me do the calculation here. 48 divided by 31.6 into 3. Take it as approximately 32. Okay, 2 16s 32, 3 16s. So it is approximately, you will get it as 4.5, students. Okay. Now look at the solution. Mass of, number of atoms of M I got it as 1.5. Number of atoms of oxygen I got it as 4.5. But in the molecular formula it should be a simple whole number ratio. So M is to O is equal to 1.5 is to 4.5, that is exactly 1 is to 3. So you can give the molecular formula of second oxide as MO3. MO3. So this particular question is based on law of multiple proportions. Law of multiple proportions. If two elements combine to form more than one compound, for the fixed mass of one element, the mass ratio of other element is always a simple whole number. So based on that, I have framed this question, and this is the way how to solve, and you will get the molecular formula of second oxide as. Write down the next numerical, students. Write down along with me the composition of compound A is 40% X and 60% Y. Write down, students. The composition of compound B is 25% X and 75% Y. What is the ratio of weights of element Y in compounds A and B? Totally he has given two compounds, students, compound A and compound B. Both are forming from same two elements, X and Y, but with different mass compositions. So immediately you can come to a conclusion that the formula of this compound is different and formula of this compound is different, because mass percent of X and Y in both those compounds are different. But what exactly is asking you to calculate? The ratio of weights of element Y in compounds A and B. That is the question he is asking. Very simple, it is just an application of law of multiple proportions. If two elements form more than one compound, for the fixed mass of one element, the mass ratio of other elements combined is a simple whole number ratio. Okay, let me explain that. Please note down the question. I will repeat, I will check it out once again. The question, see students. Okay. I am writing compound A here, compound B here. Compound A, 40 grams of X combines with 60 grams of Y. Similarly, compound B, 25 grams of X combines with 75 grams of Y. So what exactly asking? What is the ratio of weights of element Y in compounds A and B? That's what he is asking. Okay. Now apply law of multiple proportions. It means you have to fix the mass of one element, and then we can go for the ratio of masses of other element. But he is asking especially for weights of element, so it is better to fix the mass of element X in both the compounds. So here 40 grams of X, 60 grams, but actual composition of B 25 grams of X, 75 grams. If I calculate here also for 40 grams of X, what is the mass of Y? Let me calculate first. 40 by 25 into 75, that is 120 grams. Now apply the law of multiple proportion. For fixed mass of one element, the mass ratio of other element is simple whole number ratio. That's what exactly he is asking. So ratio of mass of A, say for example W, if you take WA by WB, you got 60 by 120, that is 1:2. So that is the simple mass ratio you will get by fixing mass of one element as constant in both the compounds formed from the same two elements X and Y. Okay students, you please note it down. Okay students, let me go for two more simple numericals here. You please note it down. 4 different flasks, right down students, of same volume, 1 liter each, at same temperature and pressure, contains hydrogen, helium, oxygen and ozone respectively. Ozone respectively. 4 different flasks of same volume, that is 1 liter each, at same temperature and pressure, contains hydrogen, helium, oxygen and ozone respectively. Now calculate the ratio of atoms in the flasks. Calculate the ratio of atoms in the flask. It means respective flasks 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what he is asking you to calculate. Here volume is same for all 4 flasks. Temperature is same and pressure is also same. So this is nothing but the application of Avogadro's law, what exactly we have learned in the previous session. What is Avogadro's law? Different equal volumes of different gases measured under similar conditions of temperature and pressure possess same molecules or same number of moles. Here I am going to take hydrogen, helium, oxygen and ozone, all are present same volume, same temperature, same pressure. So I can write moles of hydrogen is equal to moles of helium is equal to moles of oxygen is equal to moles of ozone. So mole ratio is 1:1:1:1. But he is asking you to calculate atoms ratio. So here it possesses all are 1. Here it possesses 2 atoms for 1 molecule. So it is 2. For helium, atomicity is 1 because no difference between atom and molecule. You have to take it as again 1. For oxygen, for 1 mole of molecules you will get 2 moles of atoms, 2. For ozone, for 1 mole of molecules you will get 3 moles of oxygen. So the ratio of number of atoms should be 2:1:2:3. He will give the answer 1:1:1:1 in the first option, students, because mole ratio is same. The moment while answering this question, we are going to apply Avogadro's law. So immediately, usually many of the students will go for first option. It is wrong answer. This is mole ratio, but atoms ratio is this. Be careful, students. Write down the next question, students. Equal masses of, write down, equal masses of oxygen, hydrogen and methane are taken, oxygen, hydrogen and methane are taken in identical conditions, in identical conditions, in identical conditions. What is the ratio of, what is the ratio of volumes of these gases, volumes of these gases, volumes of these gases respectively, respectively means you have to order the volumes ratio of oxygen, hydrogen and methane. That's what he is asking. See, there is a difference between this question and the previous question what we have solved just now. Okay. Here also identical conditions. Identical conditions means volume, temperature and pressure may be the same, because he is asking for ratio of volumes. So volumes are different. Volumes are different. Identical condition means you may take the conditions as temperature and pressure usually. Okay. But one more condition he kept here, equal masses of oxygen, equal masses of oxygen, like, okay. Let me take the mass of, say, let the mass of each gas is x grams, because mass is same, equal masses, all are x grams of oxygen, x grams of hydrogen, x grams of methane. Let me calculate. We are having mass and we know the molar masses. Here the molar masses is 2 into 1632, here it is 2, here it is 16. We know very well the molar masses. Okay, now let me calculate the moles ratio. Okay. Moles of oxygen is 2, moles of hydrogen is 2, moles of, okay students, now I am calculating the moles ratio of these three. X is the mass of oxygen, molar mass 32. X is the mass of hydrogen, because mass he has given same 2, x divided by 16. If you take the ratio, that ratio is 1:16:2. This is gas mixture. Yesterday we have discussed about the Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. So according to that, moles ratio is equal to volumes ratio. Moles ratio is equal to volumes ratio. Here all the three are gases. So moles ratio is equal to volumes ratio provided temperature and pressure are constant. He has given as identical conditions. So your volumes ratio is also same, that is 1:16:2. Students, these are different types of numerical approach based on the laws of chemical combination, what we have learned in the yesterday's previous session, right. Now I am going to give one numerical solving approach technique, especially while the gases are involving in the chemical reaction. See, methane gas on combustion, that is burning in oxygen, gives carbon dioxide and H2O. Not only methane, students, any hydrocarbon, that is a binary compound, possesses carbon and hydrogen, not any other element. Those are called hydrocarbons. Any hydrocarbon on burning in oxygen, that is combustion, always forms carbon dioxide and H2O. And H2O will be converted into liquid. And the remaining three are gases. So, you please balance this equation first of all. For one carbon, one CO2, for 4 hydrogens, 2 H2O. So, you can write 2 H2O, 4 hydrogens. Now, count the oxygens on right side. 2 plus 2, 4. But each oxygen contains 2. That is, you can balance that with 2. Here it is gas, this is gas and this is also gas. Don't suppose to write H2O as gas. Consider that as liquid always. Always. Unless the temperature is mentioned as 100 degrees centigrade. Otherwise, you have to consider that as liquid. If the temperature is mentioned specifically as 100 degrees centigrade, then also you can consider this as vapor, nothing but gas. Okay. But in the normal condition, only 3 you consider as gases. Here I am writing 1 liter of methane is going to burn completely in 2 liters of oxygen and forms 1 liter of carbon dioxide. This is what exactly we can write. If you are given with 8 liters of methane, what is the amount of the volume of oxygen needed for its combustion under the similar conditions? The condition is temperature and pressure should be the same, right? Then you have to write it as 2 into 8 liters, 16 liters oxygen is required, where you are going to produce only again 8 liters of carbon dioxide. I will give one more example to you students. Okay. Ethane gas, C2H6, ethane, on combustion, that is burning in oxygen. Products are same, carbon dioxide and H2. Here 2 carbons are there. So, you can write 2 CO2. Here 6 hydrogens are there. So, by 2 you can write 3 H2O. 3 H2O. Right. Now balance the oxygens. 2 into 2, 4 plus 3, 7. Total 7 oxygens. What the students will do the mistake? 7 you will write here. Now count the oxygens on both sides. This is 14, this is 7. So here you should write that as 7 by 2. Suppose if you don't want to write a fraction like this, so multiply the entire equation with 2, no problem. So 2C2H6 gas plus 7 O2 gas, 7 moles, gives 4 moles of carbon dioxide and 6 moles of H2O. Write down. Right. Here I can write again. What is the mole ratio? Here also mole ratio 1:2, 2:1. Mole ratio is equal to volume ratio. Here also moles ratio is equal to volumes ratio. Simply you can write 2 volumes need 7 volumes forms 4 volumes of gases under similar conditions. Don't forget about that. Okay. Now simply you can write here, if you are given with 20 ml of ethane for complete combustion, so you can write it as 2 into 10 ml. Here ratio is 2:7. Here the required oxygen is 7 into 10 ml and produced carbon dioxide will be 4 into 10 ml. So 70 ml of oxygen is needed for combustion of 20 ml of ethane and 40 ml of carbon dioxide is going to get produced. Okay student, this is one technique while solving the numericals based on volume relationships in stoichiometric calculations in our coming sessions. A way to that calculation from Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes I have explained you, nothing more than that. Okay, students, I am going to conclude this session with this, and in the next session we will go for the next concept of stoichiometry, that is empirical and molecular formulae. Thank you.